Howdy there, this is Caleb's Weifler of Delta Mark Archery. Here's something special for you, a documentation of my first foray into the world of shortbows. I've done longbow and recurve, and I've kind of identified as a traditional archer. I would be remiss without including a long-standing traditional style of bow. This is often associated with horseback archery. This particular variety is a Turkish bow that I think there's many differences between Mediterranean, Arabic, Turkish. I mean, really every culture has their own style of both design of bow and sometimes the arrows, and almost always the way that you shoot. I'm used to doing 3-finger style, 2 under, 1 over. It looks like we're gonna have a cat cameo, perhaps. But I actually need to do some research and training to pay my respects to the actual way this bow is meant to be shot. I know it uses thumb release rather than your fingers, and I sort of took a look at it. This is I got a few different poundage of this Turkish bow, and so this green one is the 20 pound. I have a 25 and a 30. I think the 30 would be uncomfortable for me to pull with my thumb without a thumb ring, which I think is something that is par for the course again with this style. But I might take a stab at a few shots using the thumb on this lighter one, and just to see what happens. I'm risking the laptop that I'm recording this on because I want to get a decent kind of vantage point of the arrows coming in. The other cool thing is, I'm super stoked right now. Not only is it new bow that I've never shot before ever, and I'm already kind of infatuated with just by holding it and pulling it, but I got a new type of head, a whistle tip for some of these arrows. This is a standard field tip, but hopefully, unless I've been fraudulently advertised to, it should be very obvious which ones have the whistle. And I got them 2 different grains, which is a measurement of weight, and I would imagine hopefully they'll have different tones as they come in. Probably more to do with how much poundage the bow is shooting the arrow, to which pitch we're going to hear. But anyways, a lot of fun stuff. I'm going to stop talking. I'm just going to start shooting. I got 6 arrows per bow, a half dozen each, and yeah, let's see what happens. So that was the 20 pound. Felt pretty light. I'm not sure if all of these shafts are the same sort of spine flexibility and weight. The arrows off first shot with this bow seem maybe a little bit heavy. The whistle was cool. I'm really excited to hear it with more velocity on the shot. Another thing about this, the Turkish bow, is that they're often the anchor point for most longbows and recurves is about to the corner of your lip or so, whereas these ones, and I'm definitely getting the need to take this as far. These are extremely flexible. This one's fiberglass, so it's super flexible and durable. But instead of bringing it here, I honestly don't know how far you're supposed to bring it back. I think you could potentially bring it all the way under your ear, which is crazy from what I'm used to. But it definitely feels like it needs a little bit more stank, at least for these type of arrows. So I'm kind of trying to bring it to the jaw, which again is unnatural. There's also no shelf here, so I'm shooting off the knuckle, which is new for me. So I'm so far I'm excited. Let's keep going. This is a 25 pound. It's honestly fun having those whistle tips interspersed without knowing when they're coming up. It's a nice surprise. Or I'm easily amused. So that was the 25 pound. Definitely was liking the way the arrows were flying. I'm not sure. It could be a combination of things. Obviously, this is a completely different build of bow, and so it's gonna shoot the arrow differently. Just seeing the feathers from the back, it had a different kind of movement that I'm used to seeing. But the other thing is, like, I'm shooting it in a, a different a different approach. I really want to start working on. Not only is it a thumb draw to be doing it in the appropriate manner to this bow, and I don't know why they incorporate the thumb draw. I think some of it is a different kind of knocking mechanism. They actually shoot, if I'm correct, from the right side of the bow instead of the left, which I think it takes a lot of practice, but the advantage is, and by using this thumb draw technique, uh, you can kind of rapidly load a lot faster than coming over the top of the limbs and back. They can just hit it and just start pulling. And there's people, Lars Anderson and some other YouTubers that have, if not mastered, have focused on their. And I love working on speed, so who knows if I'll get around to doing that. But yeah, I think let's keep going. I mixed up my feathers a little bit, so there's a mix here, but let's see how the 30-pound shoots. That one wasn't good. Had a couple barn knockers for you. Part of that is I also didn't mention it. Let me just grab it. So yeah, a lot of Western style trad bows. In addition to the shelf, it'll actually be carved in more towards the center line of the limbs, so that you're shooting more from the string. The way if you shoot this dead on, it's difficult to see, but if you're shooting off the shelf or the side with the knuckle, which I'm already starting to notice is giving me a little fletching burn, which is another cool thing. Now I see why certain bracers go around that part if you're shooting off the knuckle. But yeah, so because it's not shooting from a carved out center line, all the arrows are going to be airing a little bit to the left if I'm shooting on the left side, because it's a little bit off center, so it's coming off at an angle rather than straight forward. But that can be calibrated for. I'm going to go back to the 25 and see if I can do a thumb draw and just see what happens. I'm going to collect these arrows and take a shot at that. But definitely noticing that I got to really pull the maximum beyond my usual anchor to get the proper gumption out of these arrows. In fact, barring, maybe I'll bring it a little bit closer on the range, and barring any disasters, I'll try and stick with the thumb release to get some practice in. I'm going to actually try it on the right side of the arrow too. Damn, let's do it. Day of new things. Already extremely weird. Very weird. That went right in the dirt, not super surprisingly, but I gotta figure out where my sight window is now that the arrow's on the other side. I don't know if I come over to meet it more, or if I cant it a little. That seems crazy. Let's just see what happens. Shooting way to the right. My brain is freaking out. Doesn't know what to do about that. Something weird. Should have probably done a little bit more looking at how this works before I give it a shot. That's just terrible. Alright, let's try thumb on the left side of the bow. Maybe that'll do me some favors. Unfortunate if I had 3 bows of a style that ultimately I'm eager to learn. I want to figure it out. I fall back on my arrows just with a deeper pull, it seems like. Yeah. We'll go back to the 30. Maybe try a long shot. Once I get the next whistler, I'll take it long. Alright, well, I really want to shoot a long distance one. A whistler, I mean. We got 4 of them right here. Let's see if I can go a little bit farther back. Well, it seems like the whistlers, if they get clogged up with dirt, don't whistle, which makes sense. But overall, that was really fun. Definitely seems like the same rules apply with once you. I'm sort of spitballing with the depth of the anchor point. I try and get it back as far as I can within reason. But you know, even if you're farther back, you still want that knock point to be as close to your center line. So it's honestly kind of nice not being off your cheek. It seems like you can actually, what I've seen from like Olympic archers, you can almost dig it under the neck, and then you're really shooting close to your chest. So that last shot was finally got a beat on it in bringing that nice and tight. It felt good. Anyways, I want to do more, and I think if I get some lighter arrows for that 20 and 25, some little skinny guys, that it'll really be zippy. So overall, I am pleased with this product. These are from Alley Bows, and again, the Turkish style with some whistles, and that was fun. Hell yeah, new stuff in archery. Let's go.